So there's one on your hip and one on your toe. What's the story behind the one on your hip?
So the one on my hip is a quote in Latin, and it says, Omne ignotum pro magnifico, which means everything unknown seems wonderful. That's the translation I found. I'm sure there's like some discrepancy depending on the source, but, Hi! What are you doing? That's their way of letting us know they want to be let inside, but he can wait a minute. Anyways, so the... That's Toby. He's a good friend of ours. Looks kind of like Batman. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, So the one on my hip, it was originally said by General Tacitus in about 500 AD, I think. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I found. I believe he said it in reference to like the Roman invasion of Gaul when they're exploring a new land with new flora and fauna and all kinds of different animals and people and culture, and it all seems really grand and wonderful until you get there and you find that it's raining all the time and it smells of cow shit and it's very cold and, not exactly what you thought it was going to be like. So I think that's what it was for in its original connotation, but then I read it in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is my favorite book. And Van Helsing says it then in reference to the vampires and all these mythical creatures that we do not understand. And then you find out what they're really capable of, and it's actually kind of horrifying. And I think that that's just really cool because I love that book, but it can be something to be applied to like the rest of your life. So, so for example, I have a really bad habit of seeing the best in people to a fault upon first impression. And I've been duped by some people before in my life, which kind of sucks. You get played. But, I think it's good to remember that, like, you want to see the best in everybody and believe that the things that you don't know about them are all good things, but that really may not be the case. So it's sort of just like, keep yourself guarded, but also in a scientific sense, like, everything that we don't know of is, like, potentially super fascinating and really, really cool, but then sometimes you find out that things are actually not so great once you actually become able to understand them. So it's kind of just like a life principle that I carry with me throughout my life.
I like it. So what's the one behind the tattoo on your toe? What is it?
That's a daisy, and that's for Girl Scouts. So I was a Girl Scout for 12 years. I made it from brownies to senior scouts. The founder, Juliette Gordon-Lowe, her nickname growing up was Daisy. And so there's like a level of scouting called Daisy Scouts, which are like kindergartners, and they earn little petal patches that go on their blue smock. I never did daisies. You basically, whatever age you join is like where you start. So it's not like you have to like work your way up from that. It's not like Boy Scouts, it's a little bit different. But yeah, so the daisy is like a common theme in Girl Scouting. When I was at camp all those years growing up, which I associate like many of my best childhood memories and friendships with Girl Scout camp. But there was a song we used to sing, and it goes, "I got a daisy on my toe, it is not real, it does not grow. It's just a tattoo of a flower, so I look good while taking a shower. On the second toe of my left foot, stem and leaves, it has no root." So after I got my gold award, I had to resubmit like 500 times because they were like, "Ooh, minimum of like 80 hours of service." And so I did like 90 and submitted it, and they're like, "That's not enough." And so I like did like 20 more and resubmitted it. They're like, "That's not enough." So really what they meant was like 160 minimum hours of service before I finally got the damn thing. I was really pissed off about it. And then when I got the invitation in October to go to the gold award ceremony, I was like, I'm not sitting through another mini graduation. That's ridiculous. So I just went and got the tattoo as like a personal
gold award.
Personal sort of award to myself, and eventually got the actual pin in the mail, whatever. But yeah, so I got this tattoo to commemorate all my fun times in Girl Scouts. Because aside from the paperwork aspect of the gold award, everything else was like really great about my experience in scouting. I met so many wonderful female role models and my camp counselors and troop leaders. I made my best friends through Girl Scouting. Had some really kick-ass experiences that I don't think I'd be the same person if I had not had those experiences. So it was, as an experience on the whole, it shaped me for the better as an adult. and something that I would always encourage young girls to do. And like, you know, I still buy Girl Scout cookies all the time, and like.
Who doesn't?
It's,
They're
they're
fucking delicious.
So, but yeah, so I got that tattoo to commemorate my Girl Scout experience, and so I really did get a daisy on the second toe of my left foot with no roots, just stem and leaves. So, yeah.
That's so cute. All right.
Yeah.
I think.
Can I see my mom's?
Yes.